important and to meet everybody. Okay. So it's very lovely to be together. We're never apart. In the deepest sense, in the true sense of things, we are never apart. So we welcome each other as oneself. I recognize myself as your very self. So that there is no separation in fact. Although on some level we are in different locations, this which is in different location is the body-mind. But our reality is not in any location. So we recognize that the world appears to us. It appears to us as perceptions, as sensations, as thoughts, memories, images. But that which we are does not appear, nor does it disappear. So welcome your experience, whichever way it appears to you right now. Because in this welcoming, you are home. You are home as this welcoming, effortless welcoming. It is effortless because you already are that. So whatever sensations appear to you, notice that they appear in the vastness of awareness. Which has no barriers, there are no doors, no gates. You as awareness are always open, a total openness, borderless presence. without any opposition. Like the wide open sky, which may appear to be blue, but in fact, it is beyond any color. Similarly, you are this transparent, aware presence, which may appear to be colored by thoughts and perceptions and sensations. While in fact, you are colorless, shapeless, formless. So you invite yourself to rest as that presence, as that peace, which takes on all forms without ever ceasing to be the peace of being. You are not defined by your dreams. You're not defined by your perceptions. By your experience. So can you be open to all of it, your entire experience, without defining yourself in any way, without holding on to a particular position. Can you allow your love for freedom, your love for truth to guide you. Completely surrendered. And yet fully present. Not knowing. It is this not knowingness which allows which does not resist, which discovers freshly moment by moment. What discovers itself, discovers its creativity. Happiness means non-separation. There is no possibility for happiness when you are existing in time and space. Because in time and space, you have a beginning and an ending, birth and death, gain and loss. But as reality, is nothing lacking. So the mind is freed from the belief of being a local entity. in the belief of being a person, a body-mind. So that the mind is unencumbered with the past and the future. And is fresh being moment by moment, which has no script outside of the inherent freedom and joy of being. How the children play and lie down to rest when tired. This effortless flow. It's not trying to get somewhere. You cannot get somewhere as the reality of being. But you can come to understand that you are not what you imagined yourself to be. You are not a 10-year-old boy or girl or 12-year-old or 15-year-old body-mind or 20 or 40. And this understanding is available to us. That in this moment and every moment, I am this borderless awareness. Which is the love, the non-separate reality. Which expresses itself in the waking dream, and the night dream expresses itself as friendship and affection. Listening without judging. Recognizing the other as your very self. It's a beautiful recognition. Recognizing the light of being shining through everyone. Although the sense of separation may veil this understanding, we remain loving. We choose the high understanding. We choose the recognition of myself as yourself, as oneself. And we choose to live this way, courageously. Courageously, because sometimes it seems to be dangerous, scary. But it's important to honor your understanding. And you honor your understanding by living it. And it is available to you in this moment. The reality that perceives right now, which is not a male or a female body-mind. So I take a look in that direction and I recognize myself as that transparent presence. And simultaneously, I recognize you as that same transparent presence. Not as some form that I like or dislike. So I perceive from the heart. I perceive from the core. I perceive from the source and not from the conditioned mind that's separated in me and him and her, my tribe and your tribe. I recognize the limitation of tribes and maybe the limited purpose of tribes. But above all, I am interested in the recognition of truth, the reality of being. So I rely on my love for truth to guide me. Meaning the love of causeless happiness. And the honoring of everybody's happiness as my own. I am willing to let go of my feelings, which are conditioned by the past. And to discover myself as yourself in this moment. I am not interested in denying or squashing any feelings or sensations. But I have the clarity not to follow my feelings as my guide towards God. towards truth. Rather, I rely on the light of being, which is God's light, shining through this body-mind, shining through the world. Not that which is lit, but that which is the light. Not that which appears, but that which perceives and is. You are your own guru. You are your own teacher. You are your own guide. You are the student and the teacher as one. You are the seeker and the sought. You are the destination. Not you as a particular body-mind form, but you as the reality of I. One reality, the reality of being, the reality of awareness. That is neither male or female, tall or short. What is it you truly want? What is it that your heart deeply aspires for? Okay, so if you have any questions, anything that you would like to explore, please go ahead.
Hi, Magdi.
Hello, Anna.
So I have two questions so far. The first one is, during the meditation, you said like we don't not to trust the feelings, but to trust the being. How do I do that?
Sorry, if feeling is a certain expression in the body, certain manifestation in the body that is triggered by a thought or a perception. So it is there is a cause and effect relationship at the feeling level. How the mind is wired via its past memories and its past conditions and its past events. The body, the feelings level is connected with the past. So when you are feeling something, there is the past, your conditioning, your past conditioning is at this moment, a certain aspect of it, a certain moment being triggered as a feeling. Like, for example, if we've been conditioned to, when we were maybe a little girl, we dance and everybody applaud us. Oh, you're so cute, you're so cute, you're so cute, you're so cute. We associate a certain feeling of being cute, of being loved, of being appreciated, with a certain there is a certain input that triggers in us that feeling, which is an old feeling within our stored within our body mind, so that you can be in a situation where somebody praises you and you experience that feeling. And of course, the opposite is true as well. So at the feeling level, it seems that the feelings are important. And we want to cultivate our world in a way that we have the good feelings and more of the good feelings and less of the bad feelings. And our reactions in our relationships are always from the past. Our likes and dislikes, our subtle contractions, our judgments, and the feelings we experience that come hand in hand with the judgments. They are very prevalent in our life. We live a good part of our life trying to feel something. We speak in a way, we say some things. We may even lie, we may even lie in some cases, if it brings us, or hide or disguise, if it brings us to the feeling that we cherish. So we are, in a way, addicted to feelings. And we believe that the path of feelings is a good path, because we do it, we walk that path, the path of feelings. And we get upset, for example. We get upset when a certain situation we perceive is disturbing our feelings. Then we try seduction. In some cases, we don't try seduction, we try aggression, or we try, avoidance. If you look at the inner psychology of the human mind, you will find all those aspects of manipulation, avoidance, blaming, all sorts of aspects that have to do with the feelings. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or is that like, you follow? You follow?
Yes.
So, but what's a feeling? If you look at the feeling, if you deconstruct the feeling, you find that the feeling is just a bodily sensation with a storyline. Because the feeling it happens in the body. So it's a sensation because it happens in the body. And then there is a story that comes with the feeling. Which comes first doesn't really matter. Like, I may have a feeling in my chest or in my face, turning like a heat, a lot of heat, and the thought, why, how dare she speak to me this way? Okay. Or how dare she not understand where I'm coming from? I've explained it to her 10 times. So a feeling, when you deconstruct a feeling, it's just a sensation and a thought. The thought with the me story, me and her, or me and him, you know, me and the world, me and the government, me and people who don't know. And a sensation is just like a neutral event. It's a neutral event. There is nothing in it. There is no happiness, let's say, in a feeling.
There's no happiness.
In a feeling.
Uh-huh.
It's just a sensation with a story, and then it continues, it continues. Now, when I was talking about being, now being is awareness, presence. It's not an event like a sensation. And it's not something that appears and disappears, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sensation, depends on the situation, on the condition. Depends what somebody tells you, if they listen to you, or if they promise you something and they don't deliver it, then you have a feeling. But presence, consciousness, awareness, the reality that perceives right now, before any feeling. You are aware, right? You are present, mm-hmm. Right? Right? Mm-hmm. Not you are aware as I'm now, or as you are aware as awareness. You are present as presence. You follow that?
Mm-hmm.
And this presence is not personal. There isn't presence because you've developed those skills. You developed the skills of presence. No. Presence is. It's the I am. You follow? It's not a skill. It's not a feeling. It's not something that appears and disappears. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So why do we live our life in so concerned about things that keep appearing and disappearing, rather than live our life as presence? The other thing about presence or consciousness is that you can always rely on it. It's always there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot wound it. You cannot hurt it. Right? You cannot insult consciousness or praise consciousness. Right?
Yeah.
So at the level of consciousness, you don't have the emotions. And also at the level of consciousness, you don't have a blue consciousness and a red consciousness, right?
Yeah.
You don't have male consciousness and a female consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a consciousness is not 10 years old or 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
So it has no opposite, right? And peace is when there are no opposites. When you are seeking something, you are lacking an experience, for example, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And so you are pursuing this experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are lacking something, you're lacking this experience. When you reach that experience, when you reach your goal, when you get what you want, right? You are happy.
Mm-hmm.
But you are not happy because you got what you want.
Say that again, it cut.
You are not happy because you got what you wanted. You are happy because there is no more want, which is the fulfillment. The desire, when the desire is absent, then the sense of lack is absent, right?
Yes.
That's the peace. That's when we say, I am happy, we think, oh, I am happy because I got the beautiful shoes, I got the raise, I won the lottery. No, you're not happy because you got the promotion. You are happy because at that moment there is the end of desire. The moment is just a small moment of fulfillment. So peace and happiness, they have to do with fulfillment. They don't have to do with an experience or a feeling or reaching something.
Okay.
So when you have a question, the question is not looking for an answer. The question is looking for its ending. The question is looking for the ending of the question. When you get an understanding, at that moment, there is no question. It's not like there is an answer. The answer is the mind arising after the understanding. Before the understanding, there is a question. After the understanding, there is an answer. But in the understanding, there is no question and no answer.
So I'm just wanting to know how to experience it or apply it experientially.
Experience what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Okay, so back to like the question of like not trusting the feelings, but trusting the being. How do you apply, like what does that look like?
Yes. So the feeling is telling you, come, come. But behind the back, the other hand, it has the rope, it says come, and then it put the rope around your neck. And then you are subject to the feeling. You are a prey to the feeling. So when you see the feeling, you only see this, come, come, come. But you have to also understand that behind there is the rope. So you don't go and say, no, I know your seduction. The feeling is a seducer, seductive. And it's seductive because it is in your body. It comes. It's just to sort of it goes into your chest, into your belly, into your neck, into your face, and it's, it tells you come, it tells you come like that, and then sometimes it tells you come. Sometimes it's just really loud, loud. Oh, come! So then you're scared. You come because you are scared. You see. Sometimes you come because you are seduced. Sometimes because you are scared. I have to. If I don't, oh my God, what is going to happen to me? So it's that way. It's that way. But you have the compromise. If you go to the feeling, you compromise the peace. Not only for yourself, the entire space, the entire realm. You compromise the peace. So you have to come to that understanding, a firm understanding that the feeling is not the game, it's not the game in town, it's not the game in town, it's not your game. You don't want to play the game, the feelings game. So you have to come to that understanding. Once you come to the understanding, which you have to visit again and again, then you need to act according to this understanding. Meaning, you need to be allowing for the feeling. You not to go to fix the feeling or to avoid the feeling or save the feeling or adjust the feeling. You have to let it be. You're not ignoring it, you're feeling it, but you are not acting upon it. Not acting upon it. And feelings usually arises in relationships, most often in relationship. So in a relationship, we feel that if I don't act according to my feelings, I may or hurt the other or the other one will hurt me. It's very subliminal. But all that is part of the play of mirrors, the play of mirrors. It's not true. Because truth is not relative. Truth is absolute, yes?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that's absolute? It's consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Feelings and thoughts and situations, they are relative. So if you follow the relative, you remain in the relative.
Can you give me can you make up a hypothetical example?
Okay, well,
here, I'll give you one. Like one feeling, I guess it's a feeling. One feeling that I follow a lot is like I'll have the thought to do something and then a thought comes up and it's like I don't want to. And then I don't do it. So then I follow. I'm very committed to following. When I don't want to, then I don't do it. So that's a feeling, right?
well, it depends, because you may have the choice, and you have the freedom that I don't want to do that, and I don't feel like doing that. I'm not going to do it. You may have that freedom, but let's say that you have to go to a meeting, and there are four people waiting for you. Promise you to go to the meeting, and the meeting is in a half hour, and it's going to take you half hour to go and to get there, and you feel afraid for some reason. You feel you don't want to be seen. You don't want to, something scary. You're afraid of being in a meeting with 3 people. You're afraid of being in groups of people. You prefer to be alone, but you have an appointment for whatever reason. So now you're feeling this emotion, this feeling inside of you. And you could just not go, whatever consequences there are, And then you may feel guilt for not going, or you may be okay. You may not feel guilt. You may say to hell with them, and you may still feel okay. But that fear about being with others, being exposed, is still there. But so nothing's been resolved. But besides that, that feeling that you have somehow managed to shift by deciding not to go, not only is going to later on lead you into some feelings of guilt or anything like that, but that feeling is still there. So it's advised for you to recognize the feeling and to go to the meeting with the recognition of the feeling. And the feeling is still there, recognized. It's still there, meaning whichever way it is. I don't know. It may dance, it may shift around. But you are acknowledging that you are going to go to this meeting. It's going to be an experiment. You are going to be with those 3 other people with that feeling allowed. With that feeling allowed. Not with the feeling running the show, but it's allowed, meaning you are allowing that this feeling is there. And the feeling, to understand, is a sensation in the body. So you are allowing the sensation. It's already there anyways, but you are not resisting it. You're saying okay. You're saying okay to it. And when you do this, when you say okay and you don't allow the feeling to block you, things shift. You have to experiment with it. The feeling ceases to be a feeling, it becomes a bodily sensation. The feeling remains a feeling as long as you're not allowing it. Whenever you allow it, you give it its complete freedom, the feeling will shift into a sensation. And a sensation is not a problem. Right now, you have the sensation of your feet on the ground. You have the sensation of the temperature in the room. Your body is sensing, sensations are going on. Many, many sensations are going on, but they're not a problem. A sensation is a problem when we don't want it or we have a story about it.
So in the example that you gave, like when I feel the fear and I just don't go because of the fear, then I'm not allowing the feeling because I just want it to go away, right?
Yes, you're not allowing the feeling, you're giving the power to the feeling. You're giving the power to the feeling rather than giving yourself the power. You give yourself the power by allowing. You open the gates. The horses in the corral, they don't have any power. The person who has the power is the one who opens the gates.
The horses and the what?
In in the, you know, the corral, you know, they put the horses inside a, you know, a corral. I don't know, how do you say corral? Inside the barn. The animals inside the barn, they don't have the power. The shepherd has the power because he's the one, or she's the one, who opens the gate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the power to open the gate. As a metaphor, you have the power to allow.
So you allow the feelings and you follow your intelligence.
Yes, you allow the feeling and you follow intelligence. My intelligence tells me, okay, there is a meeting. It's an important meeting. There are 3 people. I gave him my word I will be there. Yeah, we are, you know, we have to honor our word. I mean, except if there is any serious situation. You know, the flow. So I go, but I have allowed my feeling. I allow. So the feeling is not the boss. Why? Because I am allowing.
Sometimes it feels like the feelings take over though. Like they're so overwhelming.
You have to practice with the smaller feelings.
Okay.
Practice with the smaller feelings. So you see, if you see a grain of sand to be, you know, to have very little power, then you will see a pebble to have very little power. Then you see a stone to be just a stone. Then you see a rock to be just a rock, a boulder to be a boulder. A mountain is a mountain. So work with the small annoyances, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work with your feelings. You have to allow, and not honor your feelings as your guides. They are just events. They are like a sensation. They are a sensation. Similar to the sensation of your feet on the ground. The power does not reside with the sensation, it resides with you.
I have another question.
Yes.
What does it mean to be selfish?
To be selfish?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're selfish, you are not taking into account the other people around, other people's situation, other people's potential, other people's emotions, other people's conditions. I don't use the term selfish so much. I use the term being identified. When you're identified with anything, if you're identified with the body, you're identified with an image, you're identified with your tribe, you're identified with your religion, you're identified with your bank account. Whenever you're identified with any form, there is an aspect of selfishness. There's an aspect of separation and limitation. But in relationship, we are interactive. We all share the same space, the same air, the same energy, the same gravity, the same galaxy, the same environment. So we are in the same tribe, in the same space. Yes. So at the body-mind level, that's how it is. When you when they study and scientists study manifestation, you know, the realm of existence, they find that the more they look, it becomes more and more space. You know, it's the closer you look, the more you find that we share space more than anything else. We share the space, the same space. So how can you be selfish when we share the same space? It's like it's everything that is existing, and that which we are is this existence, which is the space. So selfishness is like a certain current in the ocean saying, oh, well, you know what? Screw the ocean, you know. I'm just going to be my own current. You know, I'm shipping out of here, and I'm going to go set up my own ocean somewhere else. And then that current is stuck in the ocean. It's struggling to maintain itself, its personal self, while it is the ocean. So selfishness is an illusion. It's a belief, the belief that you are a person, that you are amna. So selfishness starts with the sense of separation, and then it plays itself out in the world. This is mine, not yours. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we say, well, don't be so selfish. Share. He says, well, no, well, this is mine, it's not yours. Okay, well, because of the identity, because of the identification, then selfishness, selfish action, and the perception is affected by the ignorance. And it's all the unhappiness is yours. The unhappiness is yours. Why? Why? You know, why the unhappiness? It's a good question, right? Because separation means unhappiness. Why? Because of our feelings. Of our feelings. You have to take a look at those feelings, you know. And you have to explore a different way of living than guided by your feelings. So you have to be willing and available to all the feelings. All the feelings. So I'm available to all the feelings. Why discriminate? I'm available to all the feelings. Because they are like the clouds, you know, like the sky. The sky, look at the sky. It says yes to the clouds that are black and big and dark, and it says yes to the white clouds. It says yes to no clouds. It's right. So be like the sky with the feelings, like the sky is with the birds. If the small birds are flying, or if the eagles is flying, you know, or the ducks are flying, the sky is available, right? So you be like that with the feelings. Don't personalize. Don't personalize anything.
Meaning like a feeling comes up, don't personalize it means like to make it about me or that it's mine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it's just a neutral event. The universe is traveling as a feeling throughout your body-mind space.
So selfishness is a feeling also?
No, there is more to it. Selfishness is rooted in the belief that I am Magdi, and that I am born, and that I am the body-mind.
So you undermine that by investigating that belief?
Absolutely. Yes, I investigate that belief, and if the belief is founded on good evidence, then it will stop to be a belief, it will become a fact. So I investigate the belief that I am Magdi, and I investigate the feeling that I am Magdi. And I find that the feelings and the beliefs, they appear to me and they disappear in deep sleep. So in my investigation, I don't find any evidence that I, awareness, I, consciousness, arises out of the body. We don't have any experience that consciousness arises out of the body, that consciousness is a brain activity. Because brain activity is observed via the scan, whatever you see, the scan, CT scan. So brain activity is observable. Because it's observable, it cannot be consciousness. Consciousness is not observable. It is that which observes. Yes, so you have to do your investigation. But it's important to come to complete clarity that you are not observable. The body is observable. Thoughts are observable. But you are not observable. You are the reality which observes, which perceives. You have to come to complete clarity about that. And it's available to you every moment to look at that.
I just got sidetracked because I was noticing how I have been following my feelings, and I was thinking that I was following the truth, but then I was laughing because they changed from moment to moment. So
it cannot be the truth. If it changes, it cannot be the truth. And because you are a truth lover, it's best that you remain interested and focused and a student of truth, not a student of the weather.
Thank you.
Okay, Anna, yes. Any questions?
Hello, Mandy.
Yes, hello, Jared.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to hear you, to see you, to be with you.
Same here. Yes.
I have a question about, so what is your view on having goals, drive, passion in your life, like perseverance in your journey, like to have the power to say no to other things, like pay the price when you like clear on your direction in your life, like you choose something because like from your like deepest insight, and there will be some obstacles. And what's your view on this process, like in this non-dual, how we can view this in non-dual seeing?
Yes, if I understood your question correctly, Jared, there are practical goals that have to do with feeding the body and paying the rent and fixing your car, etc., are practical goals, which we all take care of as best we can. And there are also, personal goals where, for example, you may plan for your retirement. You are young, so you plan and say, okay, I would like to retire at a certain age, and I have to, maybe a certain income will be necessary. So you plan your saving, you plan your investments, etc. So this is also part of the practical planning. And you can also plan out of your joy. You say, oh, well, I would love to learn how to paint, and so I'm going to plan to take a class, find out good teachers, and save some money to buy equipment and learn, about painting, because I feel a joy that's arising out of your spontaneity, your happiness, your joy. To maybe you want to travel. I would like to visit some parts of Asia or something like that, and so you plan, but you're planning out of your joy. The main thing about planning is that your happiness does not depend. Your happiness, your peace, does not depend on the plan, on the success or the failure of the plan. For example, you plan to learn to play music, and you save, and there is a teacher in town, but you have to save $500, so you save, and then you call the teacher, and he says, oh, I have enough students now. I'm sorry, Jared, I can teach you in 5 years. So then, it's disappointing, yes, but it doesn't affect your happiness. It's, too bad. Okay, maybe I will learn to tap dance. I'm not going to, I'm going to learn something else. I think I will enjoy that. Or maybe I'm going to spend the next couple of years to study something that you like to study. So if your happiness is dependent on anything, on an outcome of your goal, of your plan, then this is not the right approach. So in Advaita, planning is perfect, but unhappiness is not perfect. Unhappiness is not perfect.
Yes, because sometimes you can hear that. Sometimes, if you want something, you really need to want this. Like, put all your asset, and so sometimes there's some saying like badly, like even maybe I'm exaggeration now, like to the death, like this is like you not suggest this. This is your
no. I think that sounds too extreme. It sounds too extreme. No. Okay. If you want to become a cyclist, you may have to do a lot of effort to every day 20 miles, or 50 miles every day. It's a lot of effort. The effort is intense, but the psychology is not intense. You follow? So it's not like, I have to do it, psychologically. No, the body, yes. So is a difference. There's a difference between...
you don't believe that this is add something to your life, this things, this achievement. Well, you see the practical of this, where maybe this gives me some, like, to my family, like earning some achieve this, gives me some like more freedom, in like more safety to my family, something like that.
Oh, it could be. It depends. Yes, it could be. You know, that you may have a goal to achieve something, and you may work hard on it because you want to bring some benefit to yourself and to your family. Yes, it's not a problem because of your relationship with your family. You know, we are all contributing, and you see, I need to do something for the family, and they're doing something else. So yes, you do that. It's not a problem. The main thing is that it may work out. You may succeed in making for the family a better situation. It may not. It may work out. It may not. But you did your best. So you remain fluid. You see, it's not like like this line, you know, this red line. If you cross the red line, you're going to, you know, you have to achieve or else. No, it's a life is a joyful, it's playful, joyful, creative, is not a punishment. You have to do this, and if you don't, then you are a failure, and your whole family you have failed. No, it is.
But
it's the spirit.
Yes, sorry, Magdi. So you do suggest that if you don't want to do something, like if you don't have feeling, like maybe not good weather, and you this way you like suggest like don't do this because this is like not going okay with your feelings. Sometimes I think it's good to like go, like for example, to do something if how to say in English, apart you don't feel like this, because it's sometimes it's like for the 5-10 minutes it's not nice, but after you feel this happiness that you do this a part of not good
Yes,
like feeling good at that moment.
No, you know, like let's say, for example, I don't like to take the garbage out. But you know, the garbage, the trash, the garbage out. So, but okay, somebody has to take it out. So I say, oh, I'll take it out. You know, that's my attitude. I take it out, so I take it out. And first, I didn't feel like taking it out, but I don't give too much power to the feeling. I say, oh, okay, I can take it out. So I take it out. When I take it out, I find out that it's no big deal. It's not a problem. The feeling was, then I find I enjoy taking the garbage out. And I look at the sky. It's a beautiful sky. I walk, the body is moving. It's nice, you know, it's nice. I'm breathing. And then there is a sound of the sound. It's an interesting sound, you know. So I find that everything you can find a play in it. You can find that it's possible. There are possibility. It is a possibility. Like before, when I was much younger, there would be, for example, somebody has to go half hour to drive to bring something. We are 5 people. And everybody's saying, no. So I say, I'll go because I was interested in exploring my resistance. So I find that I have a resistance, but then when I explore the resistance, it's not resistance. I'm okay, I'm driving, you know, and I say, I'm going, oh, I shouldn't, why did he, what? And I say, no, I don't pay attention to that. I just say, oh, I'm okay. I'm driving, I'm okay. I go to the store and I say hello and I have a nice conversation with somebody. I have a nice conversation. How are you? Oh, you know, we have a nice conversation. And I drive back and I'm happy, you know. What am I saying? I'm saying that obstacles is in our head, our idea, our past. Our past is our obstacle. But in the present, there is a freedom, a complete freedom. But you have to choose the freedom. You know, you have to choose that, yes, the possibilities, infinite possibilities and infinite capacities, not limited. We are not limited, you see, because we are consciousness, you see, we are consciousness. So, yeah, sometimes you do an effort or something. And
yes, but you say we are conscious. Yes, I hear you, but we still like the conscious, the vehicle of conscious is each of our body mind, and
yes,
it seems to this body mind like has some limit.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
So because we know that we all die, so better
The limitation, you know, the limitations of the body mind are normal limitations, but we have other limitations about the psychology. The limitations, the me is a limitation that is artificial. But the body mind limitation is not artificial, it's normal. Some people.
This is I'm like, my pointing is that the knowledge that we die, so it can like motivate us to do something creative with our lives, because like in this point of view we have just one life, so better use this in such like wonderful way.
There are two directions in our life. There is the direction of the world. This body is going to die, so I want to achieve something before the body dies. In the world, I want to become a millionaire. I want to have a happy family. I want to have a big house. I want to have whatever. But there is another direction, which is about awakening, which is about happiness. So in the body, which has only so many years, we have a choice.
Yes,
everybody, most of everybody chooses money, feelings, experiences, positions, jobs, etc., etc., and they overlook happiness. They're looking for happiness, but in the wrong direction. They're looking for.
Yes. Magdi, in your opinion, like liberated mind has like is the liberated mind has preference to have like to be like in clean room, in order room, clean, or it can be also in dirty. My feeling is like even like the liberated mind, the happy mind, like still prefer maybe some order or yes, some practicality.
Yes,
it's my feeling.
Yes, you know,
what's yours?
The body mind is conditioned many different ways. Not all body minds are the same. There are some body minds that are more orderly, and they function in a certain way with the world, and some others that are better they function more intuitively, and so there may be a different. But there is a saying, I'm trying to remember it, a saying that also the world is a reflection of also your inner overall, as a general statement. As the mind becomes more peaceful, it becomes more simple. It is satisfied with less and less and less. And at some point, it is satisfied with itself. It does not mean it does not celebrate many, many things, but its satisfaction is with itself. So as the mind becomes more peaceful and simple and satisfied with itself, the world becomes less interesting in that it becomes more simpler also, less encumbered, you need less things. You hold on to less things. And so yes, the world that changes from being, you said, disorderly to become less disorderly. But that is, there is a personality aspect to that. There is not black and white. There is a area of gray where some body minds, they have a certain conditioning that makes them more orderly than others or less orderly than others. And that's not the main point, of course. The main point is the inner peace. In my experience, my world has become simpler, less complicated. More orderly. But there are some people like Tara, she's more orderly than me.
Your wife?
Yes.
Okay. You're a lucky man.
I have some habits, like sometimes when I close the door, I don't close the door all the way. So she tells me, you have to close the door all the way. So there are some habits, you know. Sometimes I take off something, I put it somewhere, but she's very sweet. It's very sweet. Is she watching? Maybe she's watching. She's going to tell me something. We see, Tara is there. Okay, no, okay, good.
It's pleasure to hear your wisdom, your answer. It was pleasure to have your hearing your answer. Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you. You helped me with your wisdom. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, Magdi.
Hello, George.
Hi there.
Hey.
Question. How useful is it to have a teacher? And by that, I mean someone with whom one has personal interactions, frequent personal interactions.
At some point, it is essential, not necessarily throughout your entire journey. But sooner or later, there is that refinement, that adjustment, that final adjustment that is necessary. And also it depends from person to person. In some very few cases, there is a bright and profound awakening that, in very few cases, that is sort of unprovoked. It's not the result of any particular teaching. And in that case, when one comes upon the revelation of the reality and universality of consciousness, and comes to clarity about the illusion of the separate self, what remains is, of course, the journey of aligning your life, your body, and your life with that understanding. And it depends, in some cases it can take a few decades, depending on at what point in your journey you come to the enlightenment. But enlightenment meaning the insight into the universality, the reality and universality of consciousness. Now, in many cases, in maybe most cases, we have a little inkling about truth. We have like a little, maybe an experience from our youth, or many experiences in our youth that give us a sort of a little peek into reality. We sort of have a sense of something beyond our mind. But we haven't, it's not a bright, clear understanding. So for most of us, then the journey is a journey of life, living life, and at the same time you're exploring and wondering about the meaning of life. And so your journey may be a journey where you life is your teacher, and also you meet teachers. You come upon a teacher or a mentor that inspires you, and then somebody else, and on, until you have so many insights throughout your journey, until you come to sort of the edge of the cliff. You sort of you're ripe for the final teacher. And in that case, after having met various teachers in your life, you will come upon the teacher that will complete your journey. Now, having said all that, of course, I want to preface that, the teacher is consciousness, is the universal guru, which what we are. The teacher is our very being. We are the teacher and the student. But sometimes we need to see an image, we need to see an external image that reflects our true nature. So the teacher is just an image, a reflection of your true self, of your deepest self. Just wanted to make clear about that. It's not that there is somebody who knows out there and you don't. It's just a reflection of your own self. So when in some cases, there is an insight, a very significant glimpse that may arise in your life that gives you this clarity about your true nature. But in some cases, you don't realize that this enlightenment is not the realization. And so because it's such a major shift from the regular sense of me, in some cases, these folks feel that they are they're it, they've got it, and they start to teach, and they curtail their journey. And that's the main thing, is that they curtail their journey and teach from an incomplete level of understanding. And sooner or later, they started tripping. They started tripping and falling, making some difficulties in their life and in their teaching. So yes, it's important. The teachers, George, there are many teachers, and life is your teacher, and you are the teacher, and you are the student. And at some point in your journey, if you remain honest and sincere with yourself, and you remain focused on the peace and the happiness, a peace and happiness that has no shadow in it. You know within yourself, you don't need anybody to tell you whether there are shadows within your happiness, your peace and happiness. And if there is a shadow within your peace and happiness, you continue to explore and investigate and look into it, and because it is that interest in the resolution of all the shadows within your being that call the teacher. The teacher appears to you out of your love and your interest and your passion for truth, and the remaining obstacles, the remaining veils that you are not able to free yourself from. You will get the help that you need. It will appear to you to free you.
Okay, thank you. The one question I'm a little bit hesitant to ask, now that you've answered the question in general, what about this person here? Do I need it? Would it be useful for me to get a teacher at this point? You know a lot about me. What would you recommend?
Well, it's like somebody who's at the spring and asking about water. So you are already drinking.
Okay.
The teacher is wherever you feel some guidance, some wisdom, some resonance, even if it's non-verbal, even if it's subliminal, but you sort of sense it, you don't, it's like you go to the spring and you know this is where the fresh water is. You're not going to go build your hut 2 kilometers away. You're going to build your hut a couple of 100 yards away. And so you can come frequently to the source as a metaphor, to satisfy your thirst. So you're already at the spring. Simply find out what's in the way, if anything. What's in the way? What's in the way of the peace of being? What's in the way? Just look within yourself. Find out what's in the way. If there's something in the way, it's there for you to see it. And whatever you will find that's in the way, it's an illusion.
Got it. Yes.
But still, take a look. Take a look. So the illusion cannot stand in the light of seeing, in our interest for truth. The illusion cannot stand. It stands in the dark. It stands in the shadow.
Okay. Thank you, Magni. Thank you.
Okay, well, very beautiful to be with you all. Thank you for your company, for your sharing, for your questions, and for your love. Holger and Amna. Thank you, Amna. Jared, lovely to be with you. Rahul. Hello, Rahul and George. Mina.
Thank you, Magdi. Thank you.
Grace. Hello, Grace. Gisela. Hello, Gisela. Marga. Hi, Marga. Holly. And Karen. Hi, Karen. And John. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Yeah.
Thank
Peace.